Hello, I hope you're doing good, and if you want to play a short games with me, I'm going to ask 5 questions about the week, about the month, about the year, about the decade, and about all stuff. 4 choices, 4 points, 3 choices, 3 points, 2 choices, 1 point, and at the end, I give you a review. Alright, so let's do this. Question about the week. So, how many nuclear tests did North Korea before to introduce the concept into its constitution? So, for 4 points, was it 6, 7, 8 or 9 tests? 4 points, 4 choices. And now for 3 points, was it 6, 7 or 8 tests? For 3 points, 3 choices. And now for 1 point, was it 6 tests or 8 tests? And North Korea actually tried 6 times before to introduce the concept of nuclear into its constitution. Question about the month. For what team of Formula One Jessica Hawkins completed the test as a pilot, becoming the first woman to drive a modern F1 car in almost 5 years? So for 4 points, was it Nissan Renault, Lotus, Mercedes or Aston Martin? 4 points, 4 choices. And now for 3 points, was it Lotus, Mercedes or Aston Martin? 3 points, 3 choices. And for 1 point, was it Mercedes or Aston Martin? For 1 point, 2 choices. And actually, Aston Martin was the team that gave a chance to Jessica Hawkins. Question about the year. When did Serena Williams retire? So for 4 points, was it March 2022, May 2022, August 2022 or September 2022? 4 choices, 4 points. And now for 3 points, was it March 2022, May 2022 or September 2022? For 3 points, 3 choices. And now for 1 point, was it May or September 2022? For 1 point, 2 choices, and actually Serena Williams retired in September 2022. Question about the decade. How many points scored Leila Lombardi, the first woman scoring points in Formula One? So for 4 points, was it a quarter of a point, was it a half point, was it 1 point, or 1 point and 25? 4 points, 4 choices. And now for 3 points, was it a quarter of a point, a half of a point, or 1 point? 3 points, 3 choices. And now for 1 point, was it a quarter of a point or a half of a point? So for 1 point, and actually Leila Lombardi scored a half of a point. Question about all stuff. Who was Edith Woodrow? So for 4 points, was it Edith Wilson, First Lady, Edith Lincoln, First Lady, Edith Roosevelt, First Lady, Edith Johnson, First Lady? For 4 points, 4 choices. For 3 points, was it Edith Wilson, Edith Lincoln, or Edith Roosevelt? For 3 points, 3 choices. And for 1 point, was it Edith Wilson or Edith Roosevelt? For 1 point, 2 choices. And Edith Woodrow was Edith Wilson. Alright, let's do the review. So on the 28th of September, North Korean Parliament enshrined nuclear ambition in a constitution after its 6th test. The Aston Martin Formula One team have confirmed that their driver's ambassador Jessica Hawkins completed a test for them last week, becoming the first woman to drive a modern F1 car in almost 5 years. The 20-year-old drove 20 laps of the Hungaroring in Budapest last Thursday in the AMR21, the team's race car from 2021. Hawkins is a former British karting champion, a podium scorer in the W Series, and has worked as a stunt driver on the James Bond film. Serena Jamaica Williams is an American former professional tennis player, widely regarded as one of the greatest tennis players of all time. She was ranked world number 1 in singles by the Women's Tennis Association for 319 weeks, including a joint record 186 consecutive weeks, and finished as the year-end number 1 5 times. She won 23 Grand Slams women's single title, the most in the Open era and the second most of all time. Maria Grazia Liela Lombardi, born the 26th of March 1941 and passed the 3rd of March 1982, was an Italian racing driver who participated in 70 Formula One World Championship Grand Prix. She is the only woman to win points in a Formula One, winning half a point in the Spanish Grand Prix. Among other things, she won the 6 hours of Pergusa and the 6 hours of Vallelunga. Edith Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, 1915-1921. Wilson took an interest in politics, sat in on meetings, and led the country in rationing supplies during World War I. Though she was Woodrow Wilson's second wife, she was nicknamed the first woman president once her husband suffered a stroke in 1990. As she nursed him back to health, she vetted all communications and decided which matters were important enough to bring the ailing president. Edith Kermit Roosevelt was the second wife of the President Theodore Roosevelt and the First Lady of the United States from 1901 to 1909. She also was the second lady of the United States prior to that in 1902. Roosevelt was the first lady to employ a full-time salaried social secretary. The two other Ediths don't exist. Alright, I hope you learned some stuff and you had some fun, and I will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye bye.